Hello, YouTubers. Tross here, and it's been quite a while. I'm here playing a new Zachtronics game. It's called Molek-Synthez. Um, not really sure too much of the story of the game, but I believe you're some sort of you're a Romanian guy, and you have this molecular synthesizer machine in your apartment, and you're making drugs or stuff like that. And Steam says I've had about 5 hours in the game, and I've completed the first 10 puzzles here. 12 puzzles? 12 puzzles. 6 per row. But it didn't really take me that long. I've actually optimized these. I have 2 solutions for that one, 3 for here, 4 for here. And, like any Zachtronics game, you're given a rating of your. Well, in this one, it's cycles, modules, and symbols. And then you're given a percentile. This game is currently in early access, and I believe you can get it for $10. Actually, a new version came out today, and they reset the scores because they changed slightly how the mechanics work, and it affects some solutions may not work anymore. So they reset all the scores. This game has only been out for a few days at this point, so well, let's show you how it works. I'm going to make a new solution here and then say open. Your goal is to manufacture copies of this drug molecule, choose and place precursors, and then program the particle beam emitters to rearrange, combine, and output them. Bonds automatically appear between atoms up to the each atom's maximum bond count. Hydrogen atoms are included in the bond count and can be used to make and break bonds. Basically, this game is sort of a combination of Opus Magnum, one of the more recent Zachtronics games, and Space Chem, one of the earliest ones. So it's you have these emitters here, and you can actually move them around. They have to stay on the edge, and these can emit hydrogen atoms or pull them off of other atoms. And by doing that, you either remove bonds or add a new bond to the element. You have 6 of these, and not only can they add and remove hydrogen, they can also push the atoms or molecules around and also rotate them. That's kind of where the Opus Magnum stuff comes in. Because by adding or removing hydrogen, you're kind of it's not exactly equivalent to changing the type of element that you had, like with the salt reaction in Opus Magnum, but it's how you make or break bonds. It's kind of like the joiner equivalent, I guess. And then you can also rotate something or push it around. So this is easy. It's, hey, we're making hydrogen peroxide. So we'll look at, and here's like chlorine will only have 1 bond. Oxygen will have 2. So here, 1 is to the other oxygen, and the other is to the hydrogen. Hydrogen is the smallest element, so it doesn't take up a full grid cell, whereas all the other elements do take up a full grid cell. Nitrogen has 3 bonds. Carbon can have 4 bonds, and silicon 6. So all these are locked for the first puzzle. You just have water. So we're going to take 2 water molecules. And now we program our emitter things. And, well, we basically need to remove a hydrogen from each. And that's hitting that I'll reposition this one so it hits this one, and we'll use, well, you know what? It's even better if we use 1 and 4, because hey, look, they're pointing right at it. So we need to remove a hydrogen. So here's the commands we currently have access to. So we'll remove a hydrogen from each. Well, let's test that. Hey, and look, we've made what we needed to make. So now we'll use C, which is output target. And we made one in 2 cycles using 4 modules. It took me a while to figure this out, but modules are basically a count of the precursors you have used plus the emitters. I'm not really sure what these things are called. Particle beam emitters. Yeah, okay. So we're using 2 of them and 2 precursors. So that gives us the 4 modules. Now if we just let this run, looks like we need to make 120, so we can just hit the go real fast. And I did this in 240 steps using 4 modules. And I used 3 symbols, which is, you can turn this off. I turned this on in the settings. It's within the top 10th percentile. You can also turn on a 1 percentile, but I didn't want to push myself that much. You can keep editing, or you can actually even export a GIF. And it's working a little differently. I think they did. So this will record a GIF, save it to your desktop, which you can then post to social media or do whatever you want with. I thought it only used to record like 2 loops, but may now be doing the whole 120. Okay, maybe there's I had to hit escape there. So, so let's. I like making multiple solutions. That was apparently equivalent to my first solution. Let's make a different one now. That was the easiest one. How can we make this fast? Let's find out. Well, you can use here. What's not showing? It probably shows in the second puzzle. Is you can use Q and E to rotate these. So we want to make this as quickly as possible. So let's have a bunch of them then. We'll do one there. We'll do one here. We'll do one here. Our modules are up to 6 because, hey, we have 6 precursors. We're going to be using all 6 of these beams as well. So it's going to go up to 12. And then we can output. We're basically making 3 at a time, or 3 every 2 cycles. So that's 80. Not the best. Let's... Well... I have an idea. You can right-click these to delete. Let's use number 6. So let's remove an atom, remove a hydrogen atom, and then we'll use this W, push. W, push, there we go. And we'll remove a hydrogen atom, and then we'll output. So if we step that, take one off, push, hey, we get a new one in. remove a hydrogen atom. Hey, now that's right. 2 modules. And... okay. we're at 4 symbols. We had 3 symbols before. So we've made that. Alright, let's try to get the 10th percentile. Let's keep editing. So I think for 10th percentile, we just want to do that several times. You can drag and move these. I'm wondering if you can like shift drag and... well, that was delete. There may be a way of copying it. I haven't figured that out yet. And... okay, control click copy. So maybe if I control click copies here. As I said, yeah, this game is relatively new. I just have like 5 hours in. All right, you can see we're now making more than our cycle count. It's still 80, huh? We're making 6 every 4. Yeah. How would you get that to less than that? I think maybe there's a different molecule you can use if you come back. Alright, so we're done with that. Let's make a new ethanol solution. So Q and E keys while dragging a precursor to set its rotation. So you can rotate this before pressing it down. I mean, that looks good. You know, let's stick it on 1. You can also pick up and move, rotate the particle beam emitters. Yes, they must be placed back on the outer track. So we want to, here, we can now add a hydrogen atom, or we can shunt a hydrogen atom, which basically means push it, like I could, well, let's demonstrate. We'll use it here. And this will basically push this hydrogen atom off the oxygen onto the carbon, like that. And look at that, isn't that exactly what we want? Yeah, the carbon doesn't want any bonds now, that's why it isn't bonded to the oxygen. The oxygen has a bright outline indicating it's an ion. But we could then trash the target and then output. So we delete the oxygen, and then we output what we're pointing at. Look at that. Well, I mean, we can run this. We've hit those 10th percentiles. Let's keep editing. And 60. How do you get 54? I'm pretty sure it was 60 the first time through. I'm guessing maybe someone figured it out. I mean, yeah, my other solutions are the same but not as good. This is not using shunt. This adds a hydrogen atom to actually make water, deletes it, adds another hydrogen atom, outputs those. So, yeah, basically not as good. And this is probably the exact same. Yeah, that's when I figured out, hey, we could shunt it. And this was the do it efficiently, or, with as few modules and symbols. Symbols are the instructions. Nitrous oxide. Well, at this point, we have access to everything. At least everything that's in the game so far. I mean, you could take two ammonia, or an ammonia and an oxygen, ammonia and water. Or you could take one of these. Let's do it both ways. So, to make this out of this stuff, you'd strip all the hydrogens, you'd push it so you get another nitrogen in, you strip that, and then output. So let's try that. So we want to remove hydrogens on 1, 2, and... oh, I guess 1, 2, and 3 works. Let's say 1, 2, and 6. We also want to remove from 3 and... let's say 5. Then we want to push forward and basically do the same thing. I wanted to remove hydrogens, not whatever I did there. This is... oh, slide emitters. This emitters can actually slide along, and one of these is clockwise and the other is anti-clockwise, counterclockwise, and these will rotate the target from this position. So if these two are bonded, rotating would move the oxygen over to here. We want to do 1, 2, and 3. And this is the mechanic they changed. You used to have to output like at a separate step, but I think you can output on the same step now. Let's step through this. Look at those, they're bonded. Not the way we want them to be, though. Not 1, 2, and 3. We want 1, 2, and 6. That's not right, though. What if we move 5 here? We do that like that. So we're going to leave one hydrogen on the oxygen. And that will have this only be one bond. At least that's what I'm hoping. And now I'm hoping removing this one. Yeah, and this will want to bond to this more, so this gets the double bond. And we output. But, like I said, I think the mechanics change so the outputs occur last. Yes, they do now. But outputs and deletes still occur at the same time. But after any hydrogens have been added. But that... That's... not bad, not the best, and someone's done it twice as fast. How would we do this faster? Obviously, for doing it twice as fast... Well, one way of doing that is doing two of these at once. I'm not really sure, though, that we have enough to do that. Let's look at this solution. Oh, what was my first solution? Okay, I was using, yeah, maybe you can do it faster with this, especially now. How does this work? We're pushing... Okay, I see exactly how this works. We're pushing the hydrogens off of the nitrogen onto the carbon. Carbon wants 4 bonds, so when it has 4 hydrogens, it won't bond to anything else. We can then get rid of the carbon. The problem is that this must be straight. I think if I remember... Yeah, well, Space Chem, I think he also wanted the right shapes. But it would accept mirror images. Yeah, you can't have it bent here. So we need to straighten everything out. So how do I do that? Let's take one step, another step. We're going to delete the carbon, and 2 is going to move over. And then we're going to pull the oxygens. And then we're going to rotate. Oh, and we put a hydrogen on here just so it would not only get 1 bond. And then we have to take that off. And then we move back. Okay. That was probably done a few days ago and probably at 1 in the morning. It looks like I got it. Well, okay, yeah, you know what? Doing it faster instead of pushing and everything. Hey, look at that. Let's just do it faster. And here, yeah, originally you would have to have the output in a separate. But if I copy this one, so that will give me a new solution. I like keeping each version. I should be able to now move these up here. And there we go, 180. This will show your friends, but because they changed the mechanics, they reset the leaderboards. I did have one friend that was also playing, doing decently to stay ahead. Not open. Let's make a new one. We'll open the new one. Okay, well, obviously this is a cyclohexane. No, it's a benzene ring, sorry. And then this... Well, we don't have that exactly. We got a few things that are close to it, though. We got... propene and ammonia. This isn't really good. This is sort of good, but we'd have to get rid of the oxygen and then push in an ammonia. I think I'd rather... I mean, it's the same number, and this is less work to me. So we're going to turn that, and we'll take this, and this is probably my same... going to be very similar to the solution I originally had. 2's already pointing towards there. And we want somebody here. We'll want someone there. So 1 should remove hydrogen. 2 should add hydrogen. 6 should remove. I said 6. 3 should also remove. Okay, that worked out. And that looks correct. So we can actually have like 4 output. Isn't that fun? Someone did it with 4 modules. Okay. I think I did figure out that I did have a, you might have noticed it, a slight little hiccup there. I have my wallpaper set to rotate every 15 minutes or so. Maybe it's 10 minutes. It turns out I think this is the wallpaper that's causing hitches in certain games, like Satisfactory, which I do want to get back to, but they just released a video a day or two ago saying that the next update is going to take a bit longer than they thought. They did say there might be some smaller quality of life updates in the meantime. So I will do a video whenever they get more content in. So let's take a look at this again. Let's do this with 5 modules. How are we gonna do this with 5 modules? I mean, I can somewhat... I want to hit that one, I want to hit that one, I want to hit that one. But I also want to hit that one. And when you move these around, they don't turn. Like, once they're set at an angle, they're set. How do we... I was thinking rotating, but yeah, I don't think that's gonna. And we can't rotate from there either, huh? 5 modules was the. 5 modules is doable. Let's hope that's the right direction. No, we want to add one there, then subtract and move back. 6 is subtract, move, subtract, move back, output. Let's start 6 here, and we'll move in the opposite order, and that way, because this was already missing one, it just got an extra bond here when... Yeah, because this was ionic. So now this guy bonds with the N, and this guy bonds there. That's 5 modules, but someone did it with 4. Alright, what if I do that, and I rotate you once? And... we don't do 6. So we remove 1 from you. We then shift up here, and we'll remove 1 from you, and we'll shift up again, and we'll add 1, and then we'll rotate this guy, and those 2 will bond, and then we'll... I'll move you here. He shouldn't bond. That will screw up the rotate. We'll have to then push twice. Go down to remove a hydrogen. And output. I think. Let's step through this. Alright, he's ionic and ready for a bond. Nitrogen's ready for a bond. Now the central guy is ready for a bond. We rotate, hey look, he's bonded. Push twice. We couldn't hit this guy before, but we can now. So we'll slide down. And he's ready for output. Hey, it's slow. But, yeah, I mean, it was 1440 cycles. But it's got us down to 4 modules. A lot of symbols, though. 12. Hey, that worked this time. So, if you think this looks interesting, it only gets more complex. Let's look at my first solution. So by doing this rotate, I only needed 1 copy of the benzene ring and the ammonia. I bet I could improve this a lot at this point because I'm wondering if the delete and the pushes could happen. Maybe not, but the output could definitely happen earlier. Anyway, that's Molek-Synthez. It's on Steam. Check it out. And I'll see you guys next time with more interesting games. See you then. Also, it's got a custom solitaire where you have to cheat to win.